networks of karma. Although all of us create our individual karmas, the fact remains that we are all connected to other people. And each of them also create karmas for themselves. And they also are then connected to other people who likewise create karmas for themselves. As a matter of fact, because of the interconnectedness of life, we are all affected to a greater or lesser degree by each other, depending upon how closely linked we are to the various individuals. So even though we may not be linked to another nation, the fact is that nations also group together. So that you have, Southeast Asia Organization of Countries, you have the Organization of Muslim Countries, you have the Organization of the European countries, you have the United States of America, you had the Soviet Union at one time. So these are also all networks. And what one country does affects another country, and it definitely affects the citizens of the country. So therefore there is what is known as the butterfly effect. Because you have to understand that before something can happen, there are many other things that have to happen before that particular event eventually manifests. So a good example is a rifle. Before somebody can fire a rifle, someone had to mine the ore. That ore had to be smelted, which was smelted by somebody else. Then it had to be made into metal, which then had to be shaped into a barrel, for which you needed a wooden stock. And then somebody else had to manufacture a bullet that was specific to that particular rifle. And when all of these things come together, the person who wants to use the rifle will then put the bullet in the chamber and then pull the trigger. So those who do not know all of the various things that had to happen before that trigger could be pulled might think that it is just the pulling of the trigger that caused the gun to fire. Whereas actually everything had to happen first before the simple action of pulling the trigger. Just a slight action and bingo, the bullet goes and causes its destruction or does whatever it wants to do. So similarly, there are events that happen in the world that keep on building. And then a small movement causes the whole thing to explode. So scientists have realized that tsunamis, cyclones, hurricanes, tidal waves sometimes can be created by the movement of a butterfly flying from one flower to another. Because that movement of the butterfly is like the trigger of the gun that is pulled. And so the movement of the butterfly unleashes this tremendous force that had taken time, that was building up over a period of months sometimes. So likewise in our lives, sometimes something happens all of a sudden and we don't even understand why. And that is because of the networks of karma in which we are a part, and some forces have developed over a period of time, and then somebody does something in a totally different network and it affects us. And we are not able to explain why.